Hey, this is going to be a quick video on how to avoid 5 common mistakes when buying used guitars, old guitars. A quick video about old guitar problems, which there are a few. I'm going to go head to toe, starting with the headstock. Make sure you get a picture of the back of the headstock to see if it was broken at one point. If it was, you'll see the little line where it was fixed. Ask who did it, when. Was it professionally repaired or not? It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it surely greatly diminishes the value of the guitar, and I usually stay away from broken neck guitars. But, you know, people repair it, and it actually works if it's done correctly. The neck and the fretboard, biggest problem, the frets. Old guitars usually have been played, so either they have been replaced already, if they know by who, was it done properly, because if they're not the same height, you're running into a whole world of problems. And if they got dents in it, you have to see that. And usually they send you pictures of the frets like this, which you don't know if it's a shat or if it's a dent. So make sure they do this. They move the strings underneath the G and the B string so you see if it's got play wear, right? Because a fret job, if you change all of them, it's $300. Level is $100, depending on who you go to. So that pretty much ruins every deal, right? If you buy a cheap guitar and you have to add $300 for a fret job, it's probably not worth it. A lot of people try and offload guitars with damaged frets, right? If they're not the same height, can be a problem because it's not going to play well. And you can't do this by yourself. At least I can't. Damage to the neck, sometimes little chunks are missing here, which is a pain in the ass because you can feel it when you're playing the guitar. Cracks, not cracks, but damage the back of the neck. Depends on, how finicky you are with feeling it. I usually don't care as much unless it's like a major thing. Finish cracks you see in the gloss. If it's like major, if it's got water damage, you can see that here. Be aware of that. And sometimes fretboards, this is a maple, which is finished. The rosewood aren't. The boards, you can see the dirt and the grime and the gunk. Can be fixed by cleaning it. It's not nice to do because I don't want to clean up somebody else's finger grime because it's very nasty, but so be it. But sometimes something happened or they do horribly bad, gone bad relic jobs, so stay away from that. This one's okay, it's not this one, whatever, but the neck's fine and it's been finished correctly. So that's the fret. The truss rod, does it work? Can I turn it? Is the neck warped? Is the truss rod broken or whatever? Because ask those questions. Damage to the neck, dings, nicks, finish. The body cracks. Are there any cracks in the body? Did it break at one point? Was there any repair done to the body? And strap buttons, because sometimes there's like additional holes or it's missing and it's a pain in the ass to fix it at some point because the hole is so big. Which is a trick to fix loose strap buttons, but that's a whole nother video. Stratocasters are usually the expensive ones, 2-piece bodies. The cheaper ones are 3-piece bodies, and you can tell by looking at it when you tilt it because you can see the lines where they joined the pieces of the body, right? Depending on the finish, but you can tell 2-piece or 3-piece. So it's important to know your stuff to determine the value of the guitar, which is a whole different story. It's not necessarily a mistake. Well, it is, because if you overpay, it's a mistake, but that's a whole nother video, seriously. Depends on the model, on the brand, and on the year. Electronics, the pickups do break, so that's hard to tell by the optics because you can't tell. Ask for a sound demo or just ask the questions. Are the electronics okay? Because if they say they are and you get the guitar and they're not, that's reason for a complaint. If you use PayPal goods and services, don't fall for the friends and family, because friends and family, you have no chance of getting any compensation. With goods and services, you have buyer protection, and I don't care what people say. If they only accept friends and family, I'm not buying a guitar. I'm not doing it. Goods and services. If you complain about the fees as a seller, I'll cover the fees. If you're not okay with that, I find that suspicious and I pass on that deal. Remember that. Saved my butt twice in the last year. PayPal is great. They get you your money back immediately. So it's good to have buyer protection. Buyer protection rules. faulty switches, you know? Are there contact problems? Does it need replacing? If you know how to solder, you can probably fix it yourself, but it can be a pain in the ass. Dirty pots is the difference to broken pots. Do they work? If it's got a push-pull or a push-push, do these work? Can I see it? If it's a push-pull, pull it up so I can see it, you know? If it's a push-push, does it work? Confirm the proper functionality of those parts. The input jack, is it not just loose, but is it a problem? Is it broken? You know, there's all kinds of things going on with input jacks. The bridge, corrosion, the older the guitar, the more people sweat. These are, on Stratocasters, fairly easy to replace. On Ibanez, it's not so much. The saddles, you know, sometimes these break off and then the piece of the tremolo arm is stuck in the tremolo hole and it's caught in the threads. You're not going to get that out, so make sure there's nothing stuck in it, because it does happen. Rarely, but it does happen. Happened to me. So yeah, that's about it. 5 biggest pitfalls: headstock, the board, the neck, the body, the electronics, and the bridge. There you go. Be sure the platform you're using, verify the seller. Be aware of scammers. Google it. It's getting worse and worse, but there's ways to cover your ass. Use buyer's protection. Ask questions. Have pictures sent to you, and don't get scammed.